How you going, people? Okay, this police department, I think it's Llano. I don't know. Somebody correct me on the right way. So, we have what I call a small police department. The department of staff is a chief of police, a patrol sergeant, an investigator, 4 patrol officers, 1 reserve, and an admin assistants. This is what I call a small agency. They have 4 patrol officers, so they may have 1 guy on duty a night, and 1 guy can be on vacation while the other 3 are working. An investigator, I guess, is for call-outs, and a patrol sergeant obviously works the office during daytime and is not out on shifts. Maybe he's on call. Anyway, so why am I talking about the Llano Police Department? Well, the police chief was just convicted of 3 counts of official oppression, and evidently he had another count, and you can read this if you want. Kind of goes into what's going on. This one gives a little bit more information. Let's see. What it sounds like from reading this, without reading the report, it sounds like the chief got together with a couple officers and they kind of doctored a report, also known as pencil whipping. And basically they falsified a report on someone, and then when they reviewed the tape, the DA said, that doesn't match, you guys are lying, and if you lie in a police report or misrepresent in a police report, you can be charged with that oppression. So let's take a look at Texas Penal Code 3903, official oppression. So it basically says a public servant acting under the color of authority, that doesn't mean a guy that's off duty, that means somebody that's working, commits the following offense: intentionally subjects another to mistreatment during arrest. Man, I don't know how every cop in Texas isn't freaking charged with that. Intentionally denies, impedes another exercise enjoyment of right and privileges of immunity, knowing his conduct was unlawful. Intentionally subjects another to sexual harassment. So, whether he, under his official acts, whether he acts or intends to act, let's see here. All right, so you can read that to give you an idea on the charge. So now these 2 cops were just arrested and charged with this also. And I'm kind of on the fence on this one because I don't have enough information. But I'm tending to lead to the cop's side on this. The DA has charged them and said they were wrong. I don't know what his case is, but from the facts I know, I think they're on pretty solid ground if they articulated it the way I'm going to articulate it. So let's take a look and see what happened here and why the DA is charging these guys. Thanks to Police Activity for putting out all these videos and getting us great discovery and body cam footage. That's a lockpick kit. I carried one when I was on duty. Used it many times. Comes in handy. I know everybody's right now. That bootleg jack. Hey, I can force entry or I can use this. If I'm authorized to enter a residence, doesn't matter how I get in. Everybody's all offended to the fact that he's using a lockpick kit. I don't have a problem with that. They could kick the door, and instead of damaging the door, they're going to try and pick the lock. I've done it before. Perfectly legal. There's nothing that says you can't do it. You just got to be on solid ground on why you're entering that apartment. I think they're okay. We'll see. Besides, this guy's ramming that lockpick in there like a freaking... He's with a hooker on nickel night. I mean, dude, quit jamming that thing in there so damn hard. Use a little finesse. Gotta give these damn cops a lockpick in school. Rick, why are you always picking on cops? Just watch the video. Be quiet. I'm working up a sweat. Picking a lock. So, I know a lot of people are like, well, why can cops break in? Because cops are allowed to break in. We can break doors and force entry when we have or exigency, emergency, or a warrant, we can break in. So these guys do not have a warrant. The question is, do they have exigency? According to the DA, they didn't. According to me, I think they did.
All I can get is a couple of...
Hey! Don't try to break in my house.
Answer the door.
I'm right here.
We've been knocking on the door. Open the damn door.
No, I'm not opening the door.
Open the door. We're coming through it.
No, you have no right.
Yes, we do.
Actually, yes.
A domestic occurred here. We're going to conduct an investigation. You can open the door or we can kick it in.
This is key for domestic violence. Used to be cops could not do this. The law was changed because the women's rights, Antifa, whatever, the purple-haired people eaters out there freaking screaming and crying, women don't have rights. It came out that, look, if a woman is being abused by a man, cops are just leaving because they don't have a warrant and they don't have exigency to enter. So the courts had ruled, hey, on a domestic, once the cops show up and have reason to believe a domestic's occurred, they must ensure the safety of all parties. I'm not sure the exact wording, but it basically says we can't leave until we make sure the persons are free to leave, they're free to report, nobody's injured, there's no evidence of a crime, there's no blood on the floor, there's no bruises on the woman, the children are safe. That's how exigency is created. Now, what they didn't tell you in this call is these cops showed up here, the woman came out, and a lot of people were getting caught up. Well, they weren't married, so the cops didn't have a right. You don't have to be married. The law says domestics are with a dating relationship, so we can cover all the 14 bathrooms of the different people and the people that want to have, sexual surgery to make themselves a horse, whatever. You got to cover all that, so it says involved in a dating relationship. And that's up to court interpretation, but if there's a dating relationship and there's an assault or there's a crime that falls under domestic violence, cops will. It's not they have an option. These cops, in my mind, do not have an option to leave right now. They are working within the law. They showed up to a domestic. The female came out and said, my live-in boyfriend, him, suspect right here, would not let me and we had a fight, and he would not let us leave the house. He didn't hit us. He didn't hurt us, but he stopped us from leaving the house. She then turned around, walked back in the door, locked the door, and they refused to answer. To me, very reasonable what these officers did. We don't know if he was holding the kid hostage. We don't know if the kid was hurt. We don't know if there was blood. Maybe he's hurt. We don't know anything. All we know is that they had a fight, and he refused to let her leave. We never saw the kid, and we don't know the condition of the kid, but we know a kid's in the house because the so-called victim who called 911, who got government involved, things never get better when you get government. She called the cops, and then once they got there, she wanted to go, I don't need you, thanks for playing, goodbye, and wanted to go in the house and lock the doors. Cops cannot abandon that situation. They would, if they left and she ended up dead, they would pull the law and go, why did you guys leave? You showed up to a house, you knew there was domestic, she went in, you didn't check the status of the child, you didn't make sure the child wasn't being held hostage to make her come out and tell you everything was okay, when in fact everything wasn't okay. You didn't make her feel secure when you talked to her and made sure that her and her kid were safe, so you know you would be getting a uncoerced statement from her, and you left. Therefore, you were negligent and you would be charged. So I am 100%, from what I know, these guys did the right thing. So she goes in the house. They refuse to open the door. These guys go, you know what? I don't want to kick a door, do damage, etc. It may not be nothing. They want to play games. She's in there. We have not interviewed or seen the child, and we don't know if the child was being held hostage for this woman. We're going to go in this house, and we're going to find out. I am absolutely 100% okay with what these guys did. It doesn't look good. Now, with that said, if and buts and coconuts, if they lied in the report, if they doctored the report to where it didn't say that they were trying to break in and they just kicked the door, if they said she came out and went running in the house and we were in hot pursuit and she slammed the door and we had to kick it because she ran in the house, we were going to lock the door and we were in fear of her safety and the child's safety, then they got problems, and I changed my position. With more information, I changed my opinion. Right now, Legally wise, these guys are absolutely 100% okay. They could have either kicked this door or they could pick the lock and open the door. It makes no difference how they get in. They had the right to go in my opinion, not with the DA's opinion.
We can kick it in. Open it or we'll kick it in. Because we're conducting an investigation.
This is my house.
Do you not understand? In a minute, I'm going to kick the door open.
Well, don't do that. Don't.
Open
Then
the door.
open.
Could these cops have explained it better? Yeah. If they would have just backed up and go, dude, look, I don't want to kick your door. Your wife came out and said there was a possible domestic. Everything looks like it's okay. We cannot leave. We are obligated to check on the child and your wife and make sure that we can talk to them away from you without you having them locked in the house. We have to do this. So you have to cooperate or we have to kick the door. So help us out. Open the door so we can get in. If everything's okay, we're out of here. You know what? We don't even need to come in. Why don't you open the door, you come out, make sure your girlfriend and the child come out so we can talk to them. We don't even need to go in the house. But we just got to make sure to cover our butts that the child and the wife is okay and the statement they gave us is correct and it wasn't coerced because you were holding the child in there. Can you help me out? Would that have been a better explanation of this guy? Yes. Do you want to hold these guys and charge them for a criminal crime because they didn't get good training or because they're not that articulate or because they went into their macho, I'm going to kick the door mode? I don't think they need to be criminally charged for that, but you know what? I don't make the rules. I just have my opinion based on my experience, not from watching videos like some of the yahoos out there. Green screen.
Open the door and talk to us like a reasonable person.
You're no reason to jack my door.
Open the door.
No, I don't have to open the door.
Then I'll kick it.
Go to the sheriff, chief, please.
That's pretty cool. The guy got a phone call on his. Oh shit! I clicked the wrong button. Damn it! Hang on. Okay, we're back to his little phone watch that went off. That's a distraction. I wouldn't have that, and I'm not even working. I mean, I hate carrying my phone and getting damn phone calls. Much less, I want something tied to my damn wrist, so my wrist rings now, and I gotta answer it and get texts and crap on my wrist. And as a cop, you talk about a distraction. I mean, it's a good thing this guy didn't want to shoot him and didn't have a gun, because while he's checking his damn wrist phone, the guy would have blew him away.
I don't have no reason to fight you guys.
Looks like a little iPhone. Green is for answer, red. I digress. Hang on, let me get back to
I don't know why you're...
Then open the door.
Quit trying to jimmy my door. That's ridiculous.
We didn't do anything to your door. We're trying to open the dang door.
Why?
Because you and your wife over here got in a fight. Open the door.
That's not my wife. I'm a girlfriend.
I don't care. Whichever it is, open the door.
I own this house.
I'm going to give you to the count of 3. If I kick that door in, you're going in jail for hindering an investigation. You understand that?
What are you investigating?
1.
What are you investigating?
Okay, for someone else who gets caught up in this situation, when an officer tells you if you don't open the door, they're going to force entry and arrest you. If you open the door, it is considered coerced. It is not voluntary. And if it turns out later that he did not have the right to enter, anything he finds will not be admissible. So instead of letting your door get tore up, you might as well open it. But and this guy could even said, hey, you know what? You just threatened to kick my door and arrest me if I didn't open my door. Are you telling me that the only way I can prevent damage is to unlock this door and I have no choice because you're going to do it anyway? And a cop would have said, that's right. Then the guy would have done just as easy to open the door. And he'd have been in the same boat as it is now, except now he's got broken hinges and he's got to pay for the repair of his doors.
A domestic.
2.
This is my house.
All right, dude. You asked for it. Move out of the way.
Stop, no.
Move out of the
Move out of the
way.
way.
Move out of the way.
Move.
Oh, you guys don't fucking work here no more.
Move out of the way.
Why?
You got
No.
a taser ready? 'Cause I'm going to kick the door. Move.
What are you investigating?
Move out of the way.
Come on, man.
Move. Open the door.
Guys.
I'll give you one.
Wrong way to kick a door, by the way. If you kick doors, turn around and mule kick it. Kicking it like that, you don't get near the power you do with a mule kick.
One more chance to open that door.
What are you investigating?
I just told you, open the door.
What are you investigating? Stop it! Stop it!
I'm not playing with you, man.
I'll open the door. Stop it!
Get on the ground!
Oh, yes, sir.
Get on the ground!
This dude did very good when the cops came in. Yes, sir, no problem. Put his hands back, laid down. They can't connect resisting. He was cooperative. He laid down. He did the right thing here. Again, I don't know what they put in the report.
Yes, sir. Yes. I'm on the ground. Yes, sir. All right.
What did we tell you over it?
You're right. You're right. I'm not trying to fight you guys. What are you investigating?
A domestic.
Okay, so they put him in a car. They investigate. They find no signs of domestic abuse, and they let him out of the car. I don't have a problem with that either. We need to enter the house. We need to investigate. He was obstructing the investigation. He refused to let us in. We have to check on him. We detained him. We put him in a car where it's his safety and ours. We did our investigation. We found no crime, and we released him. I got no problem with that, people. I don't know why the DA charged him. I don't know what the case is. There's a lot of people that are going to be offended because they were trying to pick a lock at night and say, oh, my God, the cops are breaking in to plant evidence. Yeah, okay, whatever. I think they were justified. I'm on the cop's side on this one. All right, go ahead. Give me some hate in the comments, I guess. I can't stop it anyway. Might as well just encourage it. All right, we'll end that there.